Yeah, it's clear.
Thank you.
Am I visible? Harish and Kavya.
Yeah, yeah, obviously.
I guess Kavya, you have joined recently some of our groups, no? I've seen those notifications. You have joined recently some of our groups, I mean domains.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have joined the WhatsApp group.
Okay, like by registering on website.
Yeah, by seeing on the website.
Yeah. Actually, that was a very common concern from students' end. Like they were not able to find the domains, groups, and links and all. So we just made a portfolio. Like if you are joining as a, I mean, if you are signing as a student, you will be provided all the links over there of all the domains at a single click.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Hey, hi Utsav. Utsav, am I audible?
Yeah, you're perfectly audible.
And uh, hi Pramod. Hey, okay, wait करते हैं for 5 minutes. Until then, we can have an interaction, guys. Utsav, Pramod, and Kate. These two are the speakers, Kavya and Harish. These two guys are the talented one, and they'll be speaking on this cloud computing, serverless computing, and all AWS stuffs. So until then, we can have a normal chit chat until the students are joining it. So we want to
Yeah.
start first. Utsav, Pramod, K. Anyone wants to start, guys? Yes, be comfortable, yeah. ठीक है. We conduct the session we conduct this session just because of you guys so that we can have you can have a real time interaction with the speakers, okay? So no need to shy, and there is no need language barrier as well. If you want to if you're comfortable in Hindi, then it's completely fine, okay? कोई तो बोल दो भाई. I guess Akshat is here. Hi Akshat.
हेलो सर.
और कैसे हो भाई?
गुड सर.
अरे thanks for opening camera, bro. It will encourage other students as well.
मैं आपको देखूंगा.
Semester exams चल रहे हैं यार. I guess most of the KTU colleges are having the exams, semester exams. Is it? Raz, please have a look on that query in WebD5 group. I guess someone is asking for the link. कहाँ गए भाई अक्षर?
सर वो लैपटॉप में कर रहा हूँ.
Okay, okay. Kavya and Harish, still like in the same scenario in your college as well, like semester exams are going on.
No,
No,
actually,
actually, we have completed the courses. Only the project is remaining yet.
Okay, the project is remaining. I guess you don't know, like in this UK, I mean North India, AK. Have you heard of the UPT? No need to worry.
Can you
Most
tell
of
again?
are you aware about this UPTU or AKTU something?
No,
Okay, no,
no.
I guess
no.
it's totally relevant. Yeah. So basically, ये जो time चला the time that we are having like this end of Jan, this is the time of seasonal. I mean, this is the time of exams, semester exams.
Oh,
Like those who will be having in their fourth semester. No, sorry, I guess this will be about odd semester. I mean third, fifth, seventh, ऐसे करके. So this time we are having our the semester exams and all. Maybe most of the students engage in that. Raz, have you replied to that link?
No, you're
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Hello, Aishman. Okay, I guess start करते हैं. If the students will be joining, then he can join at the end of the event. So first of all, very good evening, guys. Welcome to this session. Weekend with the series, and in this session we will be having with two very young and talented Kavya and Harish, who will be guiding you, and their combined knowledge and experience will be on this serverless AWS. Because we generally क्या होता है कि most of us are involved in the data structure, either data structure or the development part. Because but nowadays, I mean, the if I talk about the previous 1 year back, I mean within the 1 year gap, there has been a huge demand of DevOps engineer, this cloud computing engineers and all. Most of this field is emerging at a very high rate. Okay, so that's why with the intention of that, we have kept this session. Like let's have a talk about serverless AWS. What are the scopes? What are the entry level of the what are the requirements for the developers? क्या क्या चीजें चाहिए होती हैं? So these two guys will be the guiding you. So, but before that, Kavya and Harish, it would be great if you guys can give a short intro about yourself to our audience.
Yeah, sure. First of all, good evening to everyone present here, and myself Kavya Shri, and I'm currently in the AWS Community Builder program under the serverless domain, and I wish to be a speaker of many sessions and to deliver my knowledge to one and all the peers around, so they'll be getting benefited out of it. And I'm quite involved in a lot of communities like Google developers as well as a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, as you'll be well aware about it. And that's what today we are going to see about the serverless session.
That's great.
And hello all. So is my voice is clear, right? So
yeah, it's completely clear.
Okay. So I'm Harish Raghavendra, and currently I'm in my final years of computer science engineering. So actually I'm an AWS community builder and an AWS certified cloud practitioner. And I'm also a technical lead for the Google Developers Club of our college.
I guess your network is lacking somewhere, Harish. I mean, there was some break in your voice when you were giving your intro.
Yes. So let me check.
Yeah, but now it's perfect, I think.
Yeah. Now it's completely audible.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. I guess we are good to go. We are good to go for the session. We are good to start. So Kavya and Harish, please, all the webinar is yours. Just please start the session.
Yeah, sure. So today we are going to see about, first of all, I'll just share my screen. Is my screen shareable?
Yeah, yeah, it's completely visible.
Is it in full screen mode?
Yep. But the
Yeah.
slideshow is not turned on. So
Oh, okay. I just see a second.
hmm.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. So fine. Today we are going to see about the power of serverless services under the AWS cloud. And first of all, now let's see about what exactly is serverless. Serverless is nothing but it doesn't mean that it doesn't require server. So for anything, the underlying infrastructure is highly important and it's very it plays a vital part. So the server is required here, but we don't want to configure the underlying infrastructure. It's like when we order the pizza, we don't want to just make the pizza ourselves. We just want to describe like the pizza which we desire. So so automatically they'll be delivering the pizza accordingly. The same thing happens here. It's a scenario which I've explained now. And the same thing happens here. Actually, now what we are doing is that we are just giving the code and the required code, the underlying infrastructure for the code to execution is automatically provided by the AWS provider. And that's what exactly is serverless. So the cloud provider automatically manage the infrastructure for you. So you don't want to configure all those underlying infrastructure like the amount of CPU and the RAM and the operating system and all those things. You just don't want to configure manually so that you can just focus on the code which you write, and thus it would elaborate the skill of yourself in to focus in the code rather than just focusing in the underlying infrastructure. And that's what's the power of serverless. And that as it comes to charge, you're only charged as per the time you're just taken to execute that code, and the rest of the time you're not charged for the usage, and that's what comes under the charge. And this word is the overview of what exactly is serverless. So coming to the advantages of serverless, this is a broad overview. Like it obviously lower the cost because it just takes away the cost only when it is in use, and at the rest of the time when it's not in usage, we are just not like we are not like we're not what to say, we're not wasting money, we could mean in that way. And it is simplified backend code because we don't want to configure the underlying infrastructure. Everything is provisioned automatically according to the code which we are giving. And it also obviously increases the productivity because we just focus only on the code, and thus it increases the productivity. And as well as the security is also improved. And as far as we are not concerned about the underlying architecture, the time to production is also increased. And as per the scalability, it just scales up and down automatically based on the request. So these are the things which comes under the advantages of serverless computing. And now we have seen the overview of what exactly is serverless and the advantages of serverless computing. So now let us take a deep dive into the list of services which comes under serverless. So let's go into the console of serverless documentation. And this is a documentation. Always if we just refer the documentation, we could just know about a lot about the particular service as well as the cost required, that is the cost which we put and which we are charged for using that service will be well known. Because particularly before using a particular service, you should aware of the cost that is taken for the usage. Because obviously as we are just linking our account, I mean our card with the AWS account, so you will be charged accordingly based on the usage. So you must be sure that how much will be charged. So all those details will be there in the documentation. So this is a serverless documentation. And now Coming to the services under serverless category, under compute, there comes the Lambda and Fargate. Fargate is for the container services like Elastic Container Service and Kubernetes, and those two is combined for the Fargate. And compute under compute section, you'll be having this Lambda as well as Fargate. And under the application integration section, you'll be having this event bridge and step functions and SQS. SQS is nothing but the simple queue service, and SNS is for just notification, and API gateway is just for sending the to publish APIs. It is useful, and app sync is used to sync all those things which we are doing, and all these comes under the integration category. And as far as the under data store category, there comes S3, which is nothing but the simple storage service, where we'll be storing all the objects in a bucket, which is like in the in our laptop we are just having folders, and inside the folders we are having a lot of files. The similar way in S3 we are just anonymously say it as a bucket, and inside the bucket we are having a lot of objects, and there are a lot of storage classes which comes into picture in the Amazon S3. And in EFS it is used for storing the files, and DynamoDB is nothing but the document related database. And next, my friend used to tell about all these hands-on which comes under the DynamoDB, like the creation of the table and all those things will be better explained with the hands-on for easy understanding. And next, under data store, there comes Aurora. Aurora is also for data store purpose. It's a combination of MySQL and PostgreSQL. And Redshift, Redshift is nothing but the data warehouse. And Neptune comes under the graph database. And OpenSearch is for just log analytics purpose we'll be using by having the indexes. And Elastic Cache, it helps in caching and easy retrieval by the help of the Redis and Memcache. You know, all those things, there are actually, as far as the AWS is concerned, there are a lot of services. And in this short tenure, we are just going to concentrate only in the two services. So you'll be having a clear idea and clear picture only on those two services and how to use those. So for better understanding, we are just going to give you a hands-on demo on how to use those particular services. So now we have seen what exactly is serverless and what are the advantages of using serverless and what are the services which comes under the serverless domain. So now my friend Harish will just give you a glance and hands-on session demo in the DynamoDB service under the data store category. So I hand over my session to him.
So hello all. So is my voice audible, right?
Yeah, perfectly audible.
Okay. So is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So now let us discuss about DynamoDB. So DynamoDB is nothing but it is a serverless service. So it's actually a NoSQL database. So which is highly optimized and which is highly scalable also. So the AWS SLA, which is the service level agreement provided by the AWS, they specify that they provide an availability of 99.999 percentage throughout the year. So for like if you take H3, so it will be like 99 point followed by 11 nines. So and it's also a highly durable database. So which means that they'll be maintaining multiple copies of your data for so that in case of disaster or something crashes in the data center, so the data is available in some other node. So also they specify a downtime of 5 minutes yearly downtime, or it averages to around 26 seconds of monthly downtime, which is like it's a very less downtime. So if you have these database servers on premise, or if you maintain these on your own, so you will not get this much of like this much smaller, very less downtime. So these are very ideal for applications with the non-access patterns. So non-access patterns means that, for example, you can take the Amazon or Flipkart. So during the Big Billion Days or Great Indian Sales, so the application will receive a huge amount of traffic, right? So on the normal days or during the non-festive season, so the number of requests that approach the application will be less. So using these data, we can create a pattern like when there occurs a festive season, so the amount of sales gets high, or the during the non-festive seasons, the sales remains moderate. So DynamoDB can also easily integrate with the other AWS services such as S3, Lambda, etc. through APIs. And it's also very cost effective, and we pay only for the amount of data we store or the number of read or write hits that get into the database. So without wasting much time, let's get into the hands-on session of the DynamoDB. So let me share my screen. So is my screen visible, right? So
Yeah,
okay,
it's
so
visible.
to get okay, fine, Kavya. So to get started with DynamoDB, you need to log into your AWS account. So and once you log in, get to your AWS management console. So to do this, pretty much you can use a free tier account. So there's no charge for practicing these sort of things in AWS. So you can create a free tier account just using a credit card or a debit card. So once you get into this management console, so you can head into this search button and you can just type DynamoDB. So the first service that will be listed here is DynamoDB. Okay, so initially, this is the DynamoDB dashboard. So here we'll be having the alarms. So whenever the certain amount of read or write hits occur, we can configure a Lambda trigger uh, uh, to fire an alarm here, or we can like track the usage patterns through CloudWatch, which is another monitoring service in AWS. So now let us head to this tables, and let us create a new table in DynamoDB. So let us give a name for our table as users, and basically there'll be two things or two keys in DynamoDB, which is the partition key and sort key. So if your partition key is unique, right? So if it is if you're designing your database such that your partition key is going to be unique, you can ignore this sort key. So in case if your partition key is going to be duplicated, so then you need to provide this sort key so that the combination of partition key and sort key will be used as a primary key for your database, or pretty much your table. So for simplicity, let us create an partition key with an attribute named ID, which is a number. And for now, let us ignore this sort key thing, and let us leave the rest of the things as default. So it's a fully managed service, which means that we need not provision any underlying infrastructure or the number of reads or the number of writes uh, 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 that hits the table per second. So actually, these things are customizable too. So, but for now, let us leave these things as default. So, yeah. So let's create a table now. So as you can see, we have created a table in pretty much no time. So, but if you do this thing manually, so first you need to create an EC2 instance, and you need to assign an IP address to it. So it must be a publicly accessible IP address, and then you need to install an operating system on it through an AMI, which is the machine image, and then you need to manually install the MongoDB on that EC2 instance, and then you need to create a table, which will take a lot of time for beginners. So, but AWS provides this DynamoDB as a fully managed service, so that they completely hinder the underlying infrastructure from us, and uh, uh, they just provide the software through which we can access those underlying infrastructure and create our things. So let us head to our table by clicking this users table which we just created. So here we can monitor the table metrics, and here we can get a summary of our table, like how many items the table consists and all. So for now, let's explore the item stored in our table. So currently we don't have any item in our table. So let's head over to this create item section and create a new item in our table. So let me create a new attribute. So as this is a NoSQL database, so that's no fixed schema. So you can create any number of attributes for a single object. So for simplicity, let me give as name as Harish, and let me assign an email. So Harish at gmail. Okay, fine. So let's create this item. So once the item is created, so we can also edit this item, or even delete this item. So all sort of CRUD operations are possible through this console, as well as we can access it through the APIs. So now let me show you how to modify this thing. So see, I can edit this item, and I can add a new thing. So I can add a mobile number too. Okay. So as you can see, the object is modified. So to access this through some API, so for that we need to head over to this account section, and under the account we have the security credentials. So under the security credentials, we need a access key ID and secret access key to access the data stored in this DynamoDB through some Node APIs or some sort of REST APIs. So to create an access key, just click this create access key, and it will be giving you a secret access key, which is like an user ID, and sorry, an access key which is like a user ID, and a secret access key which is like a password. Okay, fine. So let's click done. So I've actually created an access key and secret access key ID and the secret access key already. So now we are going to access the data stored in that DynamoDB through Node API via Postman. So so let's not deep dive into much into this code, as it will be deviating from our agenda. So for now, this is the Node application which will be communicating to our AWS DynamoDB via Postman. So this is the access key ID and the secret access key. It must be provided as an environment variable, and as you can see, the server is already running on port 8000. So let us now fetch all user data from AWS DynamoDB. So for that, I need to specify localhost colon 8000, which the server is running /API/users, and the request is get request. So On clicking send, so as you can see, we have received a response with the data in JSON format. So JSON, as you can see, it's mobile email ID and name. We have received it. So we can also insert data from here to DynamoDB. So for that, we need to send a post request to slash user, and we need to provide the data in a JSON format. So let me give the ideas to and name as Raghav, and for now, let's create some other attributes such as num orders, as 20 orders, and city Delhi. So now let's insert this data to our DynamoDB. So if I click send, so as you can see, we have our data is successfully inserted. So let us go to the DynamoDB console and check whether the data is inserted or not. So let's head over to this tables and our table. So in the users table, explore items. And as you can see, the data which we inserted via Postman is inserted in this section with the ID2. And since we didn't specify the city for the user one, it will be by default, it will be left as null. And email and mobile are not set for this second user. So obviously it will be null. So also we can get the data of a specific user by posting the user ID, and so slash user slash the user ID, which is 2. And when we send a get request, we'll be receiving the particular user's data along. So if I give just users, so it will be returning an array of objects consisting of the entire data stored in the table. But when I specify a particular user, it will be providing the data of a particular user. Okay, fine. So we can also edit the data of a particular user via Postman also. So this is the data of a second user that we actually created. So now let me change the city from Delhi to Mumbai, and the num orders from 20 to 28. And let us send a post request now. So actually we must not specify this user ID. Yeah. Okay, I think there's some sort of. Oh, sorry. I think this is causing the error. Yeah, we need to post this JSON along. Yeah, sorry guys. So now if we send this post request, yeah. Now as you can see, the city is updated to Mumbai. So we need to specify a single this as a single JSON object. So actually we can delete this objects also through both the console and the Postman API. So now let's delete the user two through this Postman. So for that we need to send a delete request and the user ID. And as you can see, the data is deleted. So let's head over to this section, and if we hit refresh, so as you can see, the data is deleted. So we can delete from the AWS console also. So if I click this select and uh, actually we can also duplicate the item. So if I duplicate the item, so I'll be getting a pre-filled form, so that if I just change this ID and create an item, so as you can see, the item is duplicated. We can also verify this through the Postman by fetching the data. So as you can see, we have two objects now. It is duplicated, only the ID differs, and all the rest of the data remains the same. So now to delete an item through this console, so get over to actions and delete the items. So before deleting the items, so we can actually download this data as a CSV file also. So if we download this results to CSV, we'll be getting a CSV file of our data. So by this way, we can convert the non-relational data which is stored in our DynamoDB to a relational data form. So also we can also delete this delete items. So for deleting, we can select all the items, or we can select a particular item and delete it. But before deleting an item, we need to be careful, because we can't roll back, and we can't get the item back. So we need to confirm twice, like before deleting an item. So that's all about DynamoDB and how to access DynamoDB via Postman and via the AWS Management Console. So let me hand over the session to Kavya. So now she'll be demonstrating on AWS Lambda and its usage and the features of AWS Lambda.
Yeah, sure. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're perfectly audible.
Yeah, it's audible.
Ah, okay. Is my screen shareable?
Yeah,
Is
Yes.
it visible actually? Okay,
Yes,
fine.
visible.
So this is what the console of the AWS, and here there is a list of all the services, and under each category, as Harish has said, there are certain services which comes under the serverless domain. So what Harish explained is that under database there is DynamoDB, which comes under serverless, because it is mentioned as managed NoSQL, so it comes under serverless domain. And now what I'm going to do is that under the compute section, we are going to see the overview of the Lambda service. So it is not, which is nothing but it's going to run the code without provisioning the services and doing all those patch configurations, and without minding the underlying infrastructure. We are just going to run the code, and the storage and the networking, all those features which is required for running the code is automatically provisioned by the provider, and that's what is nothing but the Lambda service. So we can head on to the console of the Lambda, and this is how the console of the Lambda works and looks. And initially in the Lambda, we'll be just creating the functions. Functions is nothing but the scripts of code which will be triggered if we do some particular activity. So let's take for an example, there is a storage service like S3. When we just put an object into S3, this Lambda service can be triggered to give the information like some object is dropped into the bucket. So the Lambda function can be easily integrated with other services. So that's what is the main advantages of this Lambda function. And let's see how this features work. And now let's create the function. So initially you can just create the function from scratch, or you can use a blueprint which has already predefined code set of code which is already available, or it can also use as a container image from any other source like Docker Hub, from where we can take all those containers as an image. And initially they are asking the function name. So for today I'll be just giving us demo function, so there shouldn't be any space. And the runtime environment must be provided. So for the runtime environment, there are a list of runtime environments available. So from this, let me choose. Actually, this has Node, JS, Ruby, and Java, as well as Python. And for the today's demonstration, I'll just use the Python. And the architecture must be chosen, like whether it is x86 or ARM architecture must be chosen. And then for permissions, by default, it is actually optional to give permissions. So here, what we are giving now, as far as we are going to link the S3 service along with the Lambda, so we are going to create that particular role from this AWS policy templates. So we should go to this, and we can give the user-defined role name. So I'll be just giving us demo role. And in this policy templates, there are a lot of templates available. So now we are going to link this S3 service along with the Lambda. So we are going to give S3. And S3, there are two things available. We are just going to give the read-only permissions. And by adding this, and we can create the function. So this is how we will be creating the function in the Lambda. So it takes quite few minutes for creation. See, now we can see the console of successfully created function demo func, that is the name which we define. And here in the code section, you can add the snippet of code which you will be giving to link the S3 bucket as well as the Lambda function. So, but as far as the time is concerned, I like to conclude here like these are the features of Lambda by linking the various services with the Lambda function. So this is a snippet of code which I have taken from the blueprint, and this code depicts how to link the S3 with Lambda. So in the next upcoming sessions, we will be learning about how to link these kind of services and with more other services which comes under the serverless domain category. So as far as the time is concerned, I would like to conclude now, because it is set like if it is concluded by this time, it would be proper. So we have reached this time, and I'd like to hand over the session to Nivas. Thank you.
I guess it was insightful one, but I guess audience is not that much, Kavya. I guess that
It's okay.
yeah, yeah, it's completely okay. That's why I have warned you earlier, like the audience that we have. I mean, the type of audience and the kind of audience that we have in North India is completely far different from the South one. Like you guys are from South Chennai, na? So the people from there belongs to actually that much intellectual, that much active in such domains. But here they're mostly engaging with the either data structure part or the development part. So mostly of them, kind of. But yeah, overall it was a quite good session. I will provide you the recordings by 10 p.m. After uploading in Google Drive. I will share that link with you. And once again, guys, being as a third year student, you guys have done tremendously good. Okay, and being as a personal level, because I'm pass out, so I've completed my BTech, and being as a senior, so my best wishes for you guys. And once again, thank you so much for taking the time. Okay, and putting all the efforts into the content part. In the future, at any moment, at any phase, if you feel like me and my community can be a help for you, just please let me know. Okay, we will be glad to help you guys, because we can maintain that give and take principle over there. Okay, so yeah, okay guys, so see you some for the future collaboration in case if we have a very setback audience as well. Okay,
Sure.
okay, thank you.
Thanks for
Good
the
night.
opportunity. Thank you. Thank you.
Good night.